All right, welcome back, all you beautiful Bulletproof handy men and women and electricians and mobile dog groomers and everybody in the home services industry. We're going to talk today about one of the funnest subjects when you're starting your business, which is choosing your business name. And I'm going to start this off right off the bat and say this. If you have a name that feels like the right name to you, that just resonates with you emotionally and internally, and in your mind, it's just the perfect name for your business. If that's the case, I want you to run with that. Don't let me change your mind on your name, because all of this should be taken with a grain of salt. And the reason for that is because in the end, the success of your business is going to have nothing to do with the name. The success of your business is going to have everything to do with your integrity, your work ethic, how you carry yourself, how you conduct your business, how good you are at keeping everything organized, at following through on your word, and just running a really solid business. If you do that, your name really won't matter, but it does matter to you. So go with whatever you have if you have something that matters. But if you're still looking, then this video is going to be designed to help you pick the right name in a very systematic way. So to start with, I want your name to be short, vague, and clean. The reason it needs to be short is because we're going to be trying to get our business's name with a URL, with its own domain. So we can have www.randyssepticpumpingservice.com. If your business is Randy's Septic Pumping Service, you want randyssepticpumpingservice.com to be your website, and you want your email addresses to be randy@randyssepticpumpingservice.com. However, that's pretty long, right? So we want to try to shorten that if we can. Get it as short as you can get it. Number two, it's gonna need to be vague. And the reason you want it to be vague is maybe Randy starts off with a septic pumping service, but he quickly realizes that there's a big opportunity for digging trenches. And Randy knows a guy that's got a trencher, and Randy knows how to use the trencher, and he can buy the trencher for $5,000. And Randy goes, man, I should be septic and trenching service. So when you can keep your business name vague, and I'm going to give you a really boring example, DKS Services, just DKS. Pick 3 letters from the alphabet, ABC Services, nothing more. You have no clue from the name what they do, right? And you might think that would be bad because now people won't know what you do by your business name. But the only time people are coming into contact with your business name is because they're looking up a septic pumping service. And when they look up the septic pumping service, they get a long list of results for septic pumping. One of them says DKS Services. They're going to assume that's for septic pumping because it came up in the search for septic pumping. So, tiny rule number 2, keep it vague. Keep it short, keep it vague. And number 3, keep it clean. And this is kind of where I come into where I say if you've got something super special that really matters to you that you just have to go with, and you've stuck some little innuendo in there, that's your call. You know, if you feel like you have the client base who's not going to mind, and if you feel like you can afford to lose the client base that you'll lose by not keeping it clean, then go for it. But as a general rule, try to keep it clean. And that heavily ties into the very next rule, which is going to be no politics or religion. But once again, I mean, if you want to call yourself MAGA something something, and you're relying on the MAGA crowd to just be so into that and to want to reward you by purchasing your services, that very well could work. And then you've got things that are borderline, like veteran-owned businesses that put the word patriot inside their name. And to some people, the word patriot might feel a little bit political, and you might turn some people off. So if it truly matters to you, like it would to me, then go ahead and use the name that you want to use. But otherwise, if it doesn't matter, a really safe way to come up with your business's name in a way that's going to just really have broad appeal to everyone is to keep both politics and religion out, unless, like I said, you feel like you have the market, that you can afford to lose some people because the other people are going to double up when they come to you. One naming convention is going to just simply be name plus. That's your name plus. So if your name's Christopher, then call something, you know, like Chris's Septic Pumping Service, or like I said, Randy's Septic Pumping Service. You can also do concept plus. So if you're a roofing company, then you just have a concept, and the concept on my example here is a red frog. It gives people something that they can imagine in their mind where that imagery is going to remind them of your business. And I don't know why colors work so well with this method, but you know, I've got Red Frog Roofing on here, and you might say Black Hat Window and Glass. Or like one of this channel's new sponsors, Blue Vine Checking. There's just something about having a color attached to an object attached to the name of the service that you provide that just seems to work really well and resonate with people. Now, another really popular one is what I call legacy. And legacy is when you use some of these really old words like Pioneer or Heritage or Colonial or Frontier, when you insert these names, it gives people this idea of hearkening back to a better time. So if you can stick those words into your name, they are very likely to be chosen already. So you're not going to find like Frontier Roofing to be available. But speaking of making sure the name is available, one of the things you're going to want to do once you do finally land on a name is check two places to make sure that the name is available. Number one is going to be social media in general. You're going to want to make sure that your business can have that name on all of the main social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, X, etc. And the second place that you want to make sure this name is really available is going to be with your Secretary of State. Every state has a website with the Secretary of State somewhere where they have a listing of all of the names that are taken already for that state. You want to make sure with your Secretary of State that you can register that name. And most, if not all, Secretaries of State, you don't have to have started the business yet. If you go and you find that the name is available, you can reserve the name for you and your business almost always for free and without actually having the business. You can just reserve it so that it is yours if and when you start your business. So once you've got all that verification done, now you've really truly landed on your name. There is one more thing that you need to look for, and that's going to be you want this name to be available as a domain. A .com domain specifically, not .net or .biz or .anything else. You want your business's name exactly as it is, redhatplumbing.com. So what you're going to do, and this is where it does get a little difficult, is you've got to be able to choose a name that you can acquire a .com with that name. And the way that you're going to do that, I got to warn you guys, do not just go to Google and start typing in your businessname.com just to see where it goes. There are lots of companies that scrape the internet electronically to see what people are searching for that doesn't exist, and then when they see you searching for redhatplumbing.com and redhatplumbing.com doesn't exist, if you don't buy it up right now, they'll go buy it up. And then when you go to buy it, let's say a week later, because it was available, a week later you go to buy it, all of a sudden you can't buy it anymore. Some other company bought it and they want to resell it to you for $300 or $4,000. You never know how much it's going to be. So what you need to do is you need to go to a reputable website. I prefer Wix. Wix is who I have my sponsorship with. They're also who I think you're going to be able to build the best website with using their AI. Super easy to edit, like so easy a handyman can do it. I've got some videos on how to do that, and I'll be doing more. But whether you go to Wix or GoDaddy or whomever, you want to go to one of the big players that you can buy domains from, and you want to search for the availability of the website you're looking for on one of those sites, because they, I think, are the least likely to go and sort of snatch up that domain and then try to resell it back to you. But a further piece of advice I'm going to give you is, as long as you're serious about this business, and this is what you're doing, then in my opinion, when you go on, if you go on Wix and you get to the step where you're typing in that business name and you're finding it in a .com, or it's making, by the way, it will make suggestions to you on other business names that are very similar that you can get a .com on. But when you find that name and you know that's the name and it's available, my suggestion, guys, is for you to buy that right then and there. Buy that domain right now. Purchase it with a website package, because generally you're going to get some sort of package deal together when you buy the domain and a package for the website. Go ahead and test out the AI website building feature, and you can even get like a coming soon website built like in an hour. I mean, maybe 2 hours today. You can have that website built and have Wix hosting it for like $17 a month and have a place to send your future clients to just to get signed up and on your mailing list and ready for you to go into business. So we're going to keep it short, vague, and clean. We're going to make sure there's no politics or religion. Correct spelling, correct grammar. I may not have mentioned that before. I shouldn't have to be an adult, have correct spelling and correct grammar. Again, unless this is just a really special name to you that you have to go with. And verify the social and domain, verify that it's available for your Secretary of State, all the social media sites, verify the domain, purchase the domain right away, go ahead and purchase the website with it. By the way, there's links in the description for everything that I'm going to take y'all through. This is how I support what I do. There's a link in the description for Wix. There's a link in the description for Jobber. There's a link in the description for Bluevine Checking to get your free checking account. There's all kinds of links. That's how you support what I do if you choose to. If you don't choose to, that's also okay. But all of this, guys, this is all doable in a day. This is a very solid step you can take towards having your handyman business actually started and up and running. This is a one-day process. Think of your names, come up with your names, make sure they're available, purchase that domain and website hosting, and you're just done, man. You're done. You got your name, and then you can move on to step 2, which is coming up in this masterclass. Take step 2, do what it says. Take step 3, do what it says. Take step 4, do what it says. And before you know it, you have your own handyman, electricians, mobile dog groomer, or other home service-based business up and running, making 6 figures. So if y'all have any questions, don't hesitate to email me at bulletproofhandymanbusiness@gmail.com or leave your question in the comments. I will answer every email. I always answer every comment. I'm here for you guys for literally anything you need. So with all that being said, I love you guys. I hope you're out there killing it, and I'll see y'all on the next one.